guys, my name's Adam if this is your first time here. Today I'm going to fulfill my promise and tell you about the second time that I called 911 in my life. So, first things first, this happened when I was living in Calgary. But before we get too into it, I should tell you a little bit of backstory. Now, it starts with us playing Monopoly, but before we can get into that, I need to tell you about my neighbor, Jeremy. Jeremy was kind of an interesting character. He definitely lived the party lifestyle, and he had apparently been to jail a few times, which I'm not judging anybody. However, he also had a swastika tattoo on his chest, which we didn't know until we got to know him a little bit better. That was surprising because Jeremy was also Native American, at least half Native American, and if you live in Canada, you would know that there are a lot of racists that don't really like racist people that don't really like Native Americans, unfortunately. I have a lot of Native American friends, and it's very sad to hear that sort of thing. So Jeremy was a little bit confused about some of his ideas, and he explained that he needed to get that tattoo because he was in jail, and I guess he hid the fact. I don't know. I don't really understand it. However, when I saw that tattoo, I sort of decided to stay away from him until I saw other members of our community who were not a white person like myself that sort of didn't think it was a big deal, so I sort of thought it would be weird of me to be the one that makes it a big deal, so I just sort of followed suit. So anyway, we didn't really hang out with Jeremy too much. He was our next door neighbor. We were neighborly with him. Enough about that. So let's get back on track. The story starts with us playing Monopoly. My roommates, my roommate Luke and another roommate who will not mention because he actually specifically mentioned not to mention him in this story. Just for other things that I don't really want to get into. So we're playing Monopoly and I'm losing because I hadn't quite figured out how to play Monopoly yet, but I would beat all of them now. But then we hear a noise outside and we look out the window and we see a crowd of people and they notice us and slowly sort of move on and separate from this one person who's standing in the street, and the crowd moves away from them. Turns out that this was a female who had been sort of beaten up, really, by this group of people. So we kind of talked to her and like, what the hell happened? Are you okay? She said, yeah, I was out on a date with this guy Jeremy. And we go, we know Jeremy. We go talk to him, and basically, Jeremy decides that it's time to chase these guys down and get revenge. So, seemed reasonable at the time. So we chased this group of people down and we run them out of our neighborhood. And we were downtown Calgary and we were in Kensington, and they basically fucked off out of Kensington, and we assumed never to be seen again. We go back to bed, and I'm on the main floor of the house, and in about, I don't know, an hour after we all go to bed, all I hear is smash! And I get out of bed and I look, and there's the group of people outside giving me the middle finger with our window smashed, and then they leave. We had a park behind our house, I should mention that. It was Riley Park, if you know Calgary, and it seemed like a pretty safe bet that they were going to be there. So I get my roommates, because I'm not going to go out there and fight all these people by myself, because I'm not an idiot. I go get my roommates and tell them what the fuck happened. They decide, well, fucking Jeremy got us into this, so he's got to come along for it too. We wake him up, and we head over to the park, which we happen to see them all there. We get there, and they all have, like, rebar pipes, I don't know what the fuck you call it, just rebar, and there was a crutch there. One of them had a crutch, and I don't know if he had a broken leg or whatever. We didn't even notice. But we get there and we confront them. We say, what the fuck? Why did you smash our windows? That's not cool. And they go, they didn't really say anything. They just picked up their fucking weapons and they started swinging them at us. So we all kind of I started ducking and trying to sort of maneuver myself to sort of duck and get them. My roommate just sort of stuck his hand up and caught it with one hand and then just started beating the tar out of them. So a fight ensues, and some of them start running away. So myself and Jeremy start chasing one of these particular people down the street, and we're getting closer, and we're getting closer, and I'm thinking, like, my roommate, like, I kind of embarrassed myself by not getting that, by trying to duck the obstacles that were being swung at us when I kind of felt like a bit of a pussy because I was ducking, and my friend just sort of put his hand up and made short work of these people with. So I felt like I had to prove myself in this physical confrontation, which is not a good attitude, people. I'm a lot older now, and I realize this was not the best attitude. So me and the fucking Nazi guy are chasing this guy down, this jailbird guy, and I'm not judging, but whatever. So me and Jeremy, the toughest guy out of all of us, are chasing this one guy down, and he's starting to get away from us. He's starting to get away from us, but we're gaining on him. And he jumps into a cab, and we're trying to catch the cab, and the cab drives maybe 10 feet away, and then kicks him out, and then he keeps running away, and then he starts going, oh yeah, well, you guys are coming? I think it's time you guys get a poke from this. I'm going to give you a poke from this. And so I'm thinking, he's got a knife. Well, there's two of us. We're bigger than this guy. That knife's not going to do much to us. And we're running, and he's going, all of a sudden he's getting a lot more brave, and he starts kind of coming towards us. He's like, time for you guys to find out what I got. I'm going to give you a poke from this. And then Jeremy goes, he's got a gun. And I go, he doesn't have a gun? What are you talking about? He goes, listen to him. And all I hear him say is, I'm going to give you a poke from this. And to me, a poke is like a stab. And I go, that means a knife. And he goes, he just shot me. And I go, he didn't shoot you? I didn't hear a gun go off. And he goes, no, he shot me. Believe me, he just shot me. I go, he didn't shoot you. No gun went off. I would hear it. He's not that far. And then he goes, then how did I get this? And there's a giant wound in his arm. And I go, I don't know, but that's not a bullet wound. He didn't shoot. He didn't have a gun. And the guy's coming. He's getting more and more brave. And I'm starting to go, holy shit, maybe he does have a gun. And I'm thinking, okay, this is not the time to be wrong. So I go, all right, I guess he's got a gun. Let's get the fuck out of here. So we run back to Jeremy's apartment. And I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look like a bullet wound. It looks like, I don't know what the fuck, but it's definitely bleeding. And I go, he didn't have a gun, Jeremy. He goes, yeah, he did. I'm bleeding. How would I be bleeding if he didn't have a gun? And I go, well, if he had a gun, then we have to call 911. And he goes, okay. And he picks up his phone, and he goes, 911. And I go, what are you doing? Don't call 911. You haven't been shot. You're going to get me in trouble for calling 911 for making a false call. And he goes, talk to them. And he gives me the phone. And I go, I don't want to talk to them. And they go, 911, what's your emergency? And I go, my friend claims that he's been shot. And they go, your friend claims that he's been shot? And I go, yeah. And they go, is he bleeding? And I go, of course he's bleeding. We wouldn't call 911. He's been shot. Really? And I actually told the person, like, I don't need your fucking attitude, but that's another thing for another story. So the ambulance comes, like, instantaneously, and the cops they took Jeremy into the fucking thing, and the cops look at his arm and they go, oh, he's been shot, eh? Yeah, we don't need these false kind of things. And they're kind of giving me, like, I don't know, they're talking down to me, and I'm going, I don't know, man. Like, I'm giving them attitude. I'm like, I don't fucking know. He says he's been shot. I was standing next to him and when he got shot. And they go, you were standing next to him. And I go, yeah. And they go, did you hear a gun go off? And I go, absolutely not. But he says he's been shot. And while they're razzing me and giving me the fucking 5th degree, the ambulance guy comes up to him and he goes, actually, we pulled a bullet out of his arm. Hey, you didn't pull a fucking bullet out of his arm. That's not, like, he didn't get shot. And then I'm starting to kind of piece it together and I'm going, holy fuck, he was shot. He was right beside me. Like, that could have been, like, a few inches, a foot this way, and it would have been in my stomach or chest or fucking face. And I'm going, holy shit, he was fucking shot. So the cops take me out they're like, okay, well, we got to treat this like a real emergency. They pulled something out of his arm, and it looks like it's a bullet. They rush him out to the hospital and start doing whatever the fuck they do to someone that's been shot in the arm. I don't know, because it's not like a critical injury. And his arm wasn't broken, I'll tell you that much. So they rush him off, and they start making me look for the bullet, shell, or whatever. I don't know a whole lot about guns, but they start looking for, like, the shell, trying to get me to find it and telling, like, where were you? And we're looking for, like, hours for this evidence, and they go, like, it's not here. I don't know. Maybe the guy picked it up. I don't fucking know. I'm still in disbelief. So anyway, they finally give up on looking for it. Tell me to go home, and I get some sleep, whatever. Wake up the next morning, maybe a week later, actually. We haven't seen Jeremy for a while. And he comes over, he goes, holy shit, that was fucking crazy. Sorry for getting you guys all involved in that. Well, you know, that girl got beat up. We had to do what we had to do, and they came back and got revenge or whatever. He goes, listen, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't get shot. I don't know what the fuck they pulled out of my arm. So I go, how do they find a bullet in your arm? And he goes, I don't know. They pulled it out. They're pretty sure that I've been shot. So I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that. I have no idea. I don't even know how he was bleeding. I asked him. He wouldn't tell me. Jeremy's a weird guy. Anyway, a couple weeks go by. He goes, yeah, I'm going back to Saskatchewan, and I got warrants out for my arrest or whatever. So if I don't come back, it means that I'm in jail and I'm doing some pretty hard time. And we never saw him again. So looks like the law finally caught up with Jeremy. So that was an interesting story. But that was the second time that I've ever called 911. Quite the interesting thing. Lesson learned: don't hang out with Nazis. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's all I have to say, and I hope you have a good day.